Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Bahasham, meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true, holy, and powerful name of His only begotten Son, who is the Savior of the nation of Israel. Starting off with the elect within the nation of Israel. And Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as your Israelite foreigners, scattered abroad that may look like the nations where you've been scattered to, but are Israelites. And I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and in truth. All right, this is the brother you call from the GMS branch out of Des Moines. Now you're coming back at you with another lesson inspired by the Holy Spirit, Hawakakodash. And this lesson is inspired through this post that you see here from End Time Headline. All right, the big bro Yeshaya has sent this to me. All right, and I'll go ahead and read what it says in the actual picture. It says America isn't ready for another war because it doesn't have the troops. All right. And that wasn't really what stood out to me, or stood out to us. But the caption that he put says, perhaps this is one of the many reasons America is missing in Bible prophecy. All right. Hence the title of the lesson. All right. America is missing in Bible prophecy. Think again. OK. And, you have a lot of this happening. All right. As the scripture says, it says in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, Matthew 24 and verse 4 says, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach. All right, that word Christ there goes back to the Hebrew word Mashiach. All right, it's the Greek word Christos, which goes back to anointed. All right, and shall deceive many. So there's a lot of people that proclaim that they have the true knowledge of the Bible and they know what it's talking about, all right, that they've been sent by the Lord and, they got the breakdowns and the understandings, but they really don't have it, all right. The prophecy said in the book of 2nd Ezra that in the end times, the salt water shall be found with sweet, salt water shall be found with sweet, all right, and what that is lies mixed with truth. So you will have a lot of, people that'll come in with a little bit of truth, all right, in their message, all right, but it's mixed with all types of confusion. And that's why we have to be grounded in the proper doctrine. All right, the scriptures talk about being not tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine, because you got a lot of bugged out stuff that's being said. All right, a lot of confusion. All right, that's going on out here. Everybody on TikTok has this platform and saying this and that and the third. All right, exposing certain things, but bringing out half truths, and everything like that. So, that's why we got to be grounded in the proper doctrine. All right, and ultimately, what these people don't have is the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Like it says in the book of Revelation, the 19th chapter, Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. All right. And Yahweh Shai is the true, holy, and powerful name of the only begotten Son. All right. In the pure Hebrew. All right. Not the the bastard Hebrew that, those people are speaking in our land, are those small hats, all right? That's not the pure Hebrew, all right? The pure Hebrew, the pure language was, prophesied to come back to the Lord's people in the book of Zephaniah, all right? And they aren't the Lord's people, so they don't have the pure Hebrew. We have it through the Spirit, all right? But nevertheless, okay, on top of other things, we know that Ben Yehudi, he was a part of coming up with that, the newer form of Hebrew language that they use over there, and he added vowel points and so on and so forth, so they don't have it. All right, so we believe through the Spirit that has been revealed unto us, and his true name is Yahweh Shai. So that will be emphasized and that will be shown forth in these latter days, man. But nevertheless, all right, the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, all right? And that shows you that these guys don't have it because they can't go into these prophecies and properly break them down. All right, so before we go on to explain, and show through the spirit that America indeed is in Bible prophecy, all right, I want to grab this prophecy here in the book of Joel, and then we're going to circle back to show that America is, in that prophecy. And this is going to tie into it anyways, but this is the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right, because in this article, it says, all right, because in this article, it says what? It says America isn't ready for another war because it doesn't have the troops. All right. And just on that point, all right, troops are from America are going to be sent over to the Middle East, and they're going to fight in the in the battle in Armageddon. All right, as it says in the book of Revelation. All right. They're going to fight in that great war. Okay, World War III. All right. And let's grab that in prophecy, Joel chapter 2. All right, those troops is going to get sent over there, man. Okay. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up and his ill savor shall come up because he hath done great things. All right, so let's run that back and break it down. Verse 20 says, but I will remove far off from you. Who is the you that is speaking of? The Lord's people. When you read in verse 18 and 19, all right, it's talking about the Lord's people. All right, so the Lord will remove far off from us the northern army. So where would majority of the Lord's people be? All right, in these latter days for the great deliverance. All right, this is the book of Micah, the 4th chapter. All right, Micah chapter 4 and verse 10. It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. All right, and the city is talking about Jerusalem, our land. Right, so we were removed out of our land. Okay, and thou shalt dwell in the field, right? And we were removed out of our land during the Northern Kingdom. All right, during when we were taken into Assyrian captivity under Hoshea. All right, which we'll revisit that point a little bit later on. They were removed out of our land. All right, and then after that, shortly after, the Southern Kingdom was taken into Babylonian captivity. All right, and they were scattered, throughout the various lands, all right, and later on with the Persians and the Medes and so on and so forth, right, and then ultimately our Southern Kingdom was removed out of that land during 70 AD, okay, that was a major hit to our nation, all right, and that was the Lord's wrath, all right, and getting our people out of that land, and we wouldn't return back to that land until the Lord will redeem us in these latter days when the great deliverance comes, right? But it says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, so kicked out of our land, and thou shalt dwell in the field. All right, and the field is the world. That's pursuant to Mark 13 and 38. All right, so we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Deuteronomy 28 and 64, right? Also plenty of other precepts that show you that, the Lord would scatter us throughout the earth. All right, but it says, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, right? So this is where, all right, majority of the Lord's people will be in these latter days in Babylon, all right? It says, there shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies, all right? And Babylon is America, okay? And we're going to go back and prove that, all right? But this is showing you where the Lord's people would be. They would be in Babylon in these last days, majority of them, all right, for the great deliverance. There shalt thou be delivered. All right, there the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. All right, so let's go to this in the book of Zechariah, the 2nd chapter. All right. All right, Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, in that day saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let me see. Zechariah chapter 2 and verse, oh, that's why. All right. Damn ads. Salakia. All right, Zechariah 2 and 6, it says, ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, right, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, which we spoke about in that previous verse that we read, right? For I've spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith the Lord. Right, and it's going to tell you what the land of the north is in this next verse. Verse 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Right, so when we go back to that in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, the land of the north that is speaking about is Babylon. Okay. All right, plain and simple. So it's speaking about Babylon. All right, prophetically, right? So let's go, let's grab one more real quick. All right, just to go touch up on that land of the north. All right. So Jeremiah chapter 23. Jeremiah 23 and verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more, said the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. All right, this is where the deliverance is going to be. All right, the main deliverance is going to be out of Babylon. All right. So it says, but the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. All right. So the north country, all right, is speaking about Babylon, man. All right, which is here in America. All right. It says, there shalt thou be delivered, going back to that Micah 4:10. All right. From Babylon, the north country, right? So let's go back to this in the book of Joel. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. But I will remove far off from you, all right, the Israelites, right? The northern army, all right? So the Lord will remove what? This American military, where we are, all right, far away from us. And where is he going to send them? And will drive him into a land barren and desolate with his face toward the East Sea, all right? That East Sea is speaking about the Euphrates down to the Persian Gulf, all right? And it says, and shall with his face toward the East Sea and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. All right, that utmost sea is speaking about the Red Sea. So you'll have to look on the map and see that area. All right, so that's America. They're facing Iran, right? Because if you look towards that East Sea, all right, that borders what? All right, Iran, which is a chief adversary, all right, against America in this war, along with Russia. All right, when you read in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter or 36th chapter, you know, it's escaping me right now. All right, but it goes into Gog and Magog, right? That's speaking about Russia, all right, being an ally, all right, and a guard into its various allies. It speaks about Persia, which is Iran. All right, then it mentions Libya and various other nations, right? And in the book of Jeremiah, throughout the precepts, it talks about a company of nations being gathered with the kings of the Medes. All right, the kings of the Medes is speaking about Russia, all right, and a chief ally, Iran. So they're going to be sent out there for this war, all right? No matter how many troops they have, or right now, whatever the case may be, all right, because he posted that as if they aren't going to participate in this war. Like, nah, they are going to participate in this war. All right, American troops will be on the soils, all right, and in the Middle East, all right, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, to get judged, all right, plain and simple, right? But it says, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up. So they're going to get destroyed with the rest of all those other armies. As it says in the book of Obadiah, all right, it also says in the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter, how the Lord's wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. All right, let me go ahead and hit that real quick. All right, Isaiah chapter 34. In verse 1, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies, right? Because the Lord is gathering those armies in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. All right, the slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. All right, the same thing that we just read in that Joel, their stink shall come up because they're going to get destroyed, all right, by Yahweh Shai, all right, when he enters into that World War III, all right, during the Lord's second coming, man. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood, all right? And you can read down on this, you know, all right, but just showing you the Lord judging those armies, man. And America is going to participate and get sent out there. It says back in Joel, the second chapter, the latter end of verse 20, it says, and his ill savor shall come up because he hath done great things. All right, so just wanted to touch up on that specifically with those troops. All right, so let's go and show through the Spirit that, all right, America is indeed Babylon, man. All right, Babylon the Great. There was an ancient Babylon, all right. There's a modern day Babylon, all right. There's the daughter of Babylon, speaking about America, man. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse, all right, let's get to the point, verse 33. Now, when you read in this chapter, this is a prophetic chapter going into the destruction of America. All right, you know, it starts off speaking about, the Lord, what does it say? You know, sending forth the judgment upon Babylon. All right, it goes into our people being here, repenting, turning to, you know, the Lord. All right, then the Lord stirring up these other nations to fight against her, right? Fight against America. And once again, all these things, they didn't happen, all right, to ancient Babylon, all right? Because ancient Babylon, it wasn't taken down with war, all right? It was as brothers say, it was a surgical strike, all right? You had the king of Babylon, all right, that got put down, which was Nebuchadnezzar's son, All right, let's go ahead and read that real quick because that's going to be essential to understand as we read these prophecies, because these things didn't happen, all right, to ancient Babylon, man. All right. And then during the time of John, all right, he was still prophesying, all right, reiterating the same prophecies that were written in the book of Revelation, or written in the book of Jeremiah, all right, seeing the same visions, all right, that Isaiah was seeing, that Jeremiah was seeing, right, of Babylon being destroyed, all right, and that was way after 70 AD, okay, so even during that time, all right, Babylon still had not been destroyed, okay, so this is talking about a future place that was being called Babylon throughout the scriptures. But as the scripture says in the book of Amos, the Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So the prophets can go through these precepts and show you that this is actually speaking about America. All right, but let's grab this in the book of Daniel, the 5th chapter. Daniel chapter 5 and verse 28. It says, I'll just start here. All right. So when you read up in this chapter, all right, the writing was on the wall. Daniel came to interpret what the writing meant. Right. So this is the latter part of that. Daniel 5 and 28 says, Perez, all right, the kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. All right. So the kingdom was being translated to the Persian and the Medes. Right. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain. And Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. Right. So the king was slain, bam, and he took over the kingdom right after that. All right. They didn't have no long drawn out war, wasn't no sieges or anything like that. It was just a surgical strike. All right. Babylon didn't fall through a great shaking. All right. A mass destruction. Right. It was literally just translated. All right. Not with violence. The scripture says, thus with violence shall Babylon be thrown down. All right. So obviously that wasn't speaking about ancient Babylon, because that's not how Babylon was taken down. All right. Let you know that when John said that in the book of Revelation, let's just go ahead and grab it. That's with violence shall Babylon be thrown down. Revelation chapter 18. And we can revisit this chapter. All right. I got a couple precepts written down, but I'm going to just let the Spirit do what it do. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 21, to the point. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. Now, keep in mind, once again, this is John on the island of Patmos, all right, receiving visions, all right, a future prophecy to come. Okay, so even at this point, Babylon still had not been destroyed. So there was a place that was going to arise, all right, in the future that would be spiritually Babylon, man, all right, that we can identify in the scriptures. All right. That word Babylon, all right, goes back to the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. All right. And this is definitely the city of confusion. All right. That's going to be broken down like it talks about in the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter. Right. All right. All types of madness and confusion is happening there, or happening here. OK. But it's code for America. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. Right. So it says, thus with violence shall Babylon be thrown down, man. Now, just to go into this word violence real quick. All right. So this is how America is going to be destroyed, man, with violence. It says a rush impulse, all right, that which is impelled or hurried away by impulse. Right. Now, when we go into the root of it, it says a violent motion. All right. Okay, so with a violent motion, what's going to cause, all right, such a violent motion? All right, the scriptures talk about in the book of Isaiah, it talks about how the Lord is going to arise and shake terribly the earth, right? That's going to be via what? The nuclear destruction that's prophesied in the scriptures, man. All right, to happen here, nuclear missiles being shot here to Babylon, all right, here to America, all right, and we're going to show that, okay? But anyways, let's it says, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. All right. When you read up, it talks about only, the desert creatures and owls that are going to dwell here, after the destruction of this place and after the smoke and the fire. All right. Settles after a while. It'll only be desert creatures here. OK, but let's go to this in the book of Jeremiah, which I was going to grab. Jeremiah chapter 50. All right, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. All right. So it says, Once again, prophetic chapter going into America. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon," right? So back in verse 33, it says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, the children of Israel," Israel being the northern kingdom, "and the children of Judah," Judah being the southern kingdom, "were oppressed together." All right, so this is where you got to, know your history. All right, see, after King Solomon, the kingdom split, all right, between the northern and the southern kingdom, right? And then eventually the northern kingdom went into captivity under the Assyrians, all right, under Hoshea, all right, the king at that time. All right, you can read about that in 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. So Israel was removed out of the land, all right, went into captivity under the Assyrians, right? And then later on after that, all right, then Judah, being the southern kingdom, was taken into captivity under the Babylonians, right? So the northern kingdom weren't oppressed with the southern kingdom in Babylon. The only time that the northern and the southern kingdom were oppressed together, all right, in one captivity under one captor was during the Egyptians, man, all right, during Egypt, okay? But this is saying in Babylon, we were oppressed together. So this didn't happen in ancient Babylon, all right? Going back to that history with the northern kingdom, all right, after they were removed out of the land, all right, and went to Assyrian captivity and were scattered throughout those lands, right? And Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, lets you know what happens, man. All right, they left Assyria, entered into Euphrates, all right, sailed their ass to America. It took them a year and a half, all right, and it said that they will be there until the latter days, all right, which we're in now. So the northern kingdom will be in the land of the Americas, North, South, Central America chiefly, all right. They will be in these lands, man. So when were we oppressed together? All right, that's when the southern kingdom was gathered up, all right, in the slave trade, man, okay? Now, you had various ships that were coming a little bit before 1619, but during 1619, that's when the bulk of the southern kingdom, all right, were taken in mass numbers, all right, started being taken in mass number over here to the land of the Americas, all right? That's when Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, that's when we began to be oppressed together. All right, it talks about that in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter. All right, Revelation chapter 11. All right. And real quick, Revelation 11:11. "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them." All right, that's 350 years. All right, that's 1619. All right, to what, 1969. Right, that's 350 years. And that's when what, Elder Abba Bivens hopped on the scene. All right, started prophesying, letting us know that we were Israelites and teaching about the Messiah. All right, you had commandment keepers, previous to him. All right, but they didn't believe in the Messiah. All right, but Elder Abba Bivens, who is Elijah, John the Baptist, all right, who was prophesied to come before the great and terrible day, paved that way. Okay, all according to prophecy. All right, everything lined up with prophecy. It even said in the book of Obadiah, "When thou set thy nest amongst the stars, then shall I bring thee down." And when was the space race happening, man? All right in that time period. All right, 1969, 1970, right? Then they said they went to the moon and everything like that. The Lord said when they was going to do that, then I'll begin to bring thee down. All right, that's when this word started getting preached and Jake started waking up, and so on and so forth. So everything has been happening according to prophecy, right? That's what's important, the prophecies. All right, the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, okay? But anyways, Revelation 11:11, "And after 3 days and a half, the 350 years, all right, that was when Judah and Israel began to be oppressed together, all right? It says, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them," all right? It says, that's it. I really just wanted to get that point. Let me jump to verse 8. It says, "In their dead bodies," that's us in this dead estate. All right. When it says, "He that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead." So we were dead out here. That's Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. All right. Ezekiel saw the dry bones, right? Then the spirit of life entered into them. All right. The flesh came upon them. That's Jake waking up to their nationality. That's also prophecy, man. Ezekiel the 37th chapter, Hosea the 1st chapter. In the land where it shall be said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall it be said unto them, ye are the children of the living power. So this is all according to prophecy. Jake waking up to who they are here in the land of the Americas. All right. You know, specifically here, that's where this word was going to begin to be preached. All right. As a matter of fact, let me just back that up real quick, man. All these prophecies tie in, tie in everything, man. It says a feast covering cast. Let me see. Is this Isaiah? All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 6. It says, and in this mountain, all right, talking about what? In this government here in America, man. All right, and in this mountain shall the Lord of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines, and on the lees well refined. This is talking about what? This wisdom. It says wisdom had mingled her wine, she hath killed her beasts, right? This is wisdom being proclaimed here in this mountain, here in America. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations, man. All right, that's what? These lies being exposed, all right, the truth of the Bible being pushed out there, all right, the proper understanding through the teaching, all right, the proper teaching, the true gospel being pushed out. In the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, what did it say? Yahweh Shah said that when this gospel be preached throughout all the world, then shall the end come. Okay, if these Christians had the true gospel, all right, they came over here with that Christianity madness, man. Jake came over here on slave ships called the good ship Jesus. All right, Jake was being hung in honor of the apostles, man. They'll set up, I forget the term for it. Where they hang Jake on gallows. All right, they'll have Jake's on gallows. All right, with 12 nooses on them. All right, in honor of the apostles, in the honor of Christianity, right? That's what Jake was going through, man. All right, but the point being is that they didn't have the true gospel. All right, the true good news. In the book of Isaiah, the 64th chapter, it talks about the glad tidings. All right, and what does it talk about? The recompense of the wicked, of our enemies being put down under our feet. Revelation, the 13th chapter, talks about this is the faith and the patience of the saints. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints. This is what the true saints, this is what the Israelites should be looking for and would be looking for, man. The elect of the nation of Israel, man. All right, the Israel of the Most High, right? But all of these prophecies tie in together, man. But let me go back, Isaiah 25 and 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations, all right? But that would happen, what? Through this truth being taught, pushed out here in America, all right? And then it will be spread throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? Matthew 24, and I forget which verse it is, but, I quoted it. This gospel being preached throughout all the world, right? So Revelation 11 and 8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city here in Babylon, right? Which spiritually is called Sodom. Don't even need to explain why this place is spiritually Sodom, right? You see what's going on around you, man. All right, this madness, this nastiness, all right, alphabet, community all around. And Egypt, all right? Now going back to this point in Egypt, because what happened in Egypt, all right? We were being oppressed together, okay? That's when Northern and Southern Kingdom was catching hell together. All right. So plain and simple, man, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt, right? They got the pyramid on the, dollar bill. There's so many spiritual, tie-ins that you can, tie in this place being Egypt, right? Where also our Lord was crucified. And we know that our Lord wasn't crucified here in America, nor was he crucified over in Egypt. All right, so this is a spiritually speaking, all right, because they crossed out the image of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, all right, his character, right, trying to make him seem like he just loves everything and all soft, and he cares about the alphabets and, these heathen and so on and so forth, right? They attempted to crucify our Lord, man, all right, but now the truth, all right, is swallowing up those lies, man. All right, the true understanding of these scriptures, right? So let's go back to this in the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. All right, Jeremiah chapter 50. in verse, where's we at? Can't remember if I finished it. All right, Jeremiah 15:33. But it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. So that happened here in America. All right. So this Babylon that is speaking about where we are oppressed together, that's here in America, right? So when we go into these various other precepts, all right, that's speaking about Babylon, all right, we know that it's talking about America, man. Let's grab this in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. In verse, this whole chapter is another prophetic chapter going into the destruction of America. It starts off with the burden of Babylon and speaking about the prophets shaking the hand, cursing out these people, right? You know, but let's get closer to the point here. Isaiah 13:19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, all right? In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. So we read about how ancient Babylon was taken over. All right. It wasn't taken over and destroyed with fire and brimstone. All right. Ancient Babylon is over there in Iraq. All right. There's people that are still dwelling there. All right. You know, they got cities over there and, business as usual. All right. So this is talking about a future destruction. Once again, John, he was being told the same things. He got the same visions of Babylon being destroyed. All right. America, right? And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Via that fire and brimstone, man. And that's going to be via the missiles. As a matter of fact, if we jump down, the nuclear missiles, right? Isaiah 13:5, it says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So the Lord is going to use the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, man. All right, and what are these weapons of his indignation? All right, let's jump to Jeremiah 50 and verse 23. All right, yeah, we'll start here. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. The hammer of the whole earth. All right. The book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, talks about how he that beateth the nations with a continual stroke. Man, that's talking about Esau, Edom. All right. That's his ass, man. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. He's oppressing the people on an all-time high, man. All right, Babylon didn't destroy the earth. They weren't polluting the air and everything like that, man. Nah, that was Esau ass over here. All right. That's this devil. That's why it says in the book of Revelation that the Lord will destroy him that destroyed the earth. In the book of Jeremiah, it might be the same chapter. It might be the next chapter. But it says how the Lord is going to roll thee down and turn thee into a burnt mountain. The Lord is against thee, O destroying mountain, which destroyest the whole earth, man. Who's doing that? All right, that wasn't the ancient Babylonians, all right? That's talking about Esau ruling over Babylon here. Or that's talking about Esau that's ruling over Babylon, all right? Because he is the nation of people that's ruling over Babylon. This is the book of Psalms 137, all right? Because the nation that was prophesied, let's line this up real quick. 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 9. So the scriptures tell you who will be the ruling nationality of people before the Lord's return, right? This is it. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So before Jacob is in rulership, the nation of Israel under Yahushua, King David, all right, the rest of the 12 and the rest of the 144,000 in their lot and so on and so forth, the rest of the elect, all right, Esau will be ruling. All right. That's why it says in the book of Obadiah. All right, let's grab this real quick before we go that. All right, after Esau is judged, all right, America's destroyed, NATO, EU, the nations is taken down, the time of the Gentiles ends, Daniel, the 2nd chapter, that stone is cast out the feet, ending the time of the Gentiles, right? Once this devil's down, what happens? Obadiah 1 and verse 21, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord. So when America gets his judgment, or Esau gets his judgment, right? Then that's when the kingdom is the Lord's. All right. That's when Jacob, all right, begins to rule, right? Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So Esau will be the nation that's ruling prior to Yahushai's return. All right. So back in Psalms 137 and verse 8. O daughter, I'm going to start at 7. I'm sorry. Yep. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. So, Edom is being associated with the daughter of Babylon. All right. The daughter of Babylon. Keep that in mind, man. That's talking about America. All right. Because what? This devil is ruling over America. All right. That's beating the nations. All right. With a continual stroke. Okay. Yeah, that's this devil, man. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, because that's what they did to our little ones. All right. So judgment he's gonna be recompensed for all this wickedness, man. Plain and simple, right? So let's go back to this. Where we at? All right, back in Jeremiah chapter 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. And thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory. All right, it says, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. The same thing that we read in the book of Isaiah. All right, the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. We're going to read about those weapons. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh, power of hosts, and the land of the Chaldeans, right? Now, I'm going to just jump down to verse 29. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. Camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Now, archers, what? They shoot arrows. All right, and as we're going to read here, let's just go ahead and grab it now. All right, this ain't talking about no ancient, day arrows, man. Nah, this is a special kind of arrow, man. All right, this is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 13. All right, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And that Isaiah 13 chapter says they come from a far country. What ancient arrow can be shot from one end of the earth to another? Okay? None. All right? So as the prophets were seeing these different visions and, getting these different things, they used the terminology that they had at that time. All right? Other scriptures, they call those nuclear missiles. All right? They'll call them arrows. All right? Certain precepts is to call it what? The glittering sword. All right? Back in now Isaiah the 34th chapter, how does it describe them? Isaiah 34 and verse... Isaiah 34 and verse 5, it says, I'll start at verse 4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So he's seen a vision of the destruction of America, and he's describing what? A nuclear fallout, man. A mushroom cloud, right? The heavens being rolled together as a scroll, the same way that John described in the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Because if you look at how figs grow, all right, they grow in an upward motion on their stem. And then when they're ripe, what happens, man? They fall, all right, in a looping motion, man. All right, so they go up at an angle and then loop down, right? That's the missiles being shot out into the atmosphere and coming down upon its target. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? His sword bathed in heaven, all right? Weapons of his indignation. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is speaking about America, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, okay? So this is talking about what? The destruction of America, Babylon the Great, man. All right? So let's go back. We finished that 2 Ezra 16. So let's go back to this in the book of Jeremiah 50. And verse 29, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. So these different nations with nuclear missiles, man, they're going to shoot them upon America. In the book of Revelation, John said he heard the number of them, and it was 200,000. All right? 200,000, man, which I believe that's, is that 2 million? 200 million? All right, but that's a whole bunch of warheads, man. All right, to be playing, Salaki, it escapes me the exact number. All right, because those missiles get shot off and they release multiple warheads, man. And those warheads, they explode and cause a lot of damage. That's how the earth is going to be shaken. All right, that's what's going to cause Babylon to fall with great violence. All right, a violent shaking, all right, a great shaking, a violent motion. All right, the scripture says how the Lord will reel the earth to and fro like a drunkard. What is going to cause that? Okay. What's going to cause the great earthquakes and the mass destruction that the scriptures talk about, man? It talks about the great earthquakes, all right, in the book of Revelation, So this is going to be a great destruction, man. But it says, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel, right? None of this happened in ancient Babylon, man. All right, if this type of destruction would have happened, all right, in ancient Babylon, we'd be talking about it, okay? But this did not happen yet. This is going to happen upon America, right? Let me just jump up. I'll read another one. In this chapter, Jeremiah 15:16. Is this 16? Thought it was 16. Oh, verse 14. It says, put yourselves... I'll start at verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. Right. And there's people once again inhabiting ancient Babylon. All right. So if that destruction would have happened, there should be nobody inhabiting over there. All right. It says, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her. All right. Talking about you got them nuclear missiles, man. Hey, go ahead and let them off on America, man. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. And that's why you're hearing about nuclear war and, World War III and so on and so forth in the news. All right. Because it's brewing and America is going to be wiped off the earth. Or it's going to be made a desert. All right. It's going to be the scriptures talk about it being swept with the besom of destruction, man. And you see how when those missiles get shot off, you watch those clips of, how it sweeps through and destroys it, incinerate everything in a certain radius, right? But the Lord is going to do an overkill on this place, man. All right, they say that Russia's Satan 2 can destroy Texas and California by itself alone. All right, but 200,000 of them warheads being shot off, man. Come on now. The Lord is literally going to shake this earth, man, to and fro like a drunkard. All right, but it says... that's it on that. All right, so let's go back to Isaiah 13. All right. Isaiah chapter 13. And we'll probably end it off on this, man. All right, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Via fire and brimstone, via those nuclear ICBM missiles. This is how, all right, America is going to be destroyed, man. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. So nobody's going to dwell here afterwards, man. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, all right? So they ain't going to be setting up shop, all right? Ain't finna be nothing over here, man. All right. It says, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. And once again, if this has already happened, all right, and ancient Babylon is in Iraq, then why are them niggas still over there? Okay. It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. That's going to be those desert creatures, man. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. All right, So, man, this should show clearly that, all right, that Babylon that is being spoken about, man, is America. So America is definitely in the scriptures, man. The greatest empire that's been on the earth. Here it is, the Lord prophesied of the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire, Persians and Medes, right? All these great empires, all right, the Egyptians being raised up and so on and so forth. All these great empires, man. But then the Lord is going to, talk about the greatest empire and the most wicked of them all, America, in the scriptures. That ain't finna be in the Bible, right? The Greeks, talk about how when the Greeks came into power, evils multiplied on the earth, right? We read about that, right? But America just ain't in there. Once again, man, these people do not have it. They don't know the scriptures, man. They don't have the spirit of prophecy, man. As a matter of fact, let me end it off in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. I jumped down, but we'll start up. It says, and after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right. Desert creatures. All right. You can read about that again in Isaiah the 34th chapter. See, these prophets were seeing the same visions, all right, and they were describing them in different ways, okay? But it all amounted to what? The destruction of America, all right, because this is going to be a great destruction, the greatest that this world has seen, and this is going to be the destruction that brings in the kingdom of heaven, all right, the rulership of the house of David under Yahweh Shai, all right, in the kingdom of heaven for eternity, man, okay? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. It says, let's see. I'll just read through. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, right? And this is going to be a literal voice that's heard, man. And then the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be taken out of America. Isaiah, the 24th chapter, I believe, it says, come, my people, enter thou into my chambers until the indignation be overpassed. All right, that's the elect of the nation of Israel being taken out of America. All right, while the Lord is rocking this bitch to and fro, man. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. The recompense, right? How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. What does this sound like? Isaiah the 47th chapter. Okay. This is damn near quoted verbatim. Right, so they were seeing the same visions, man. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh power who judgeth her. All right. As a matter of fact, let me hit that in the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, man. Then they're saying the exact same thing. I'll jump at the top and then jump down. Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right. Sit on the ground. So the virgin daughter, all right, just speaking about America. This ain't ancient Babylon. There's no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Let me jump down. It says, let me read verse 6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Backing up the point that we will be delivered into the hand of Esau Edom here in Babylon, all right? Into the hand of the Chaldeans, which is the elites, all right? That left-hand priesthood, or the ancient prognosticators or whatever, them elites is left-hand witches and warlocks, man. That's why they be partaking in all them child sacrifices and, all that weirdo stuff they be doing, man, because it's a left-hand priesthood, man. But, just going back to the point, this is where we were delivered to. All right, here to Babylon in the hands of these devils, man. It says, I was wroth with my people. I polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, right? So this is the exact same thing that's being said in Revelation, the 18th chapter, verse 8 again. Revelation 18:8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh power who judgeth her. All right, it says, And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right. So what else is this place talking about then, man? If it ain't talking about America, what else is it talking about, man? All right. The bulk of the Israelites were brought here according to prophecy. All right. Jeremiah the 50th chapter. We just read in Isaiah the 47th chapter that we were delivered into their hands here in Babylon. Right. So the majority of the Israelites will have to be in this location. You know, we know that the northern kingdom will be in the Americas until the latter days, pursuant to 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter. All right. We know that the deliverance is going to come out of Babylon. All right. You know, so all these different points that it speaks about prophetically is pointing to no other place but America. All right. So, you know, man, Lord's what I was edifying and, you know, clear, you know. But having that being said, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and in truth. With that, I'm going to say shalom.